I'm going to show you how to make this Christmas box. It's made in 2 parts and it fits together perfectly, just like that. It's bring up the first corner until it meets the second corner and fold it as accurately as you possibly can. Turn the paper and fold it the other way. When you've done that, you now know where the middle of the square is, and so the first corner comes up and touches accurately the middle of the square, and then you turn the paper around and bring up the second corner so that they meet in the middle. Next, bring up the whole folded side and make sure that's tucked in carefully until the folded side is lying along the fold that's going across the middle of the square. And again, do the same on the other side. And when you've done that, you'll end up with a shape that almost looks a bit like a tie that has 2 ends to it. Open it up and turn the paper around, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. When you open it up, you'll discover that it's covered in lots of little squares, and you're looking for the 4 squares that are in the middle, and I'm going to mark them with the pencil just so that you can see exactly which 4 squares I'm talking about. You don't need to mark them with the pencil as long as you can pick them out with the folds. And now I'm going to cut 4 lines. The first one is going along the fold up towards the first corner of the square that I've just marked with the pencil. And the second one coming up to the second corner. And when you've done that, I quite often think that looks like a little house. And so I'm looking for the same shape that's on the other side. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Cutting up carefully along the folded line up to the corner of the square. And the same with the other side there. And now I have 2 shapes that look like houses. I'm going to ignore the houses for a moment because I'm ready to fold the box into its shape. So with those 2 houses lying flat, bring up the corner back to the middle, the same fold as it was before, and then I'm going to bring up the 2 sides, the first one there, let it stick up, and the second one there, and that's the first side, and turn it around and do exactly the same thing. That one's coming up to the middle, not a new fold, we've already made that fold before, and that side's coming up, and this side's coming up. And then I'm ready to tuck the box together. So those 2 sides are coming up, and the whole of this house is going to come up and over and tuck it down neatly. And the other side exactly the same. Now I'm going to decorate mine with some foil paper. I've cut some little squares here. I've cut them so that they fit exactly like that. Glue on this little square with just a small amount of glue. You don't want it squashing out all over your box and spoiling the top of it, so just little thin dabs of it. Oops, and stick it on. It's going to go diagonally across like that. This is a piece of glitter Christmas wrapping paper. Now, and stick it on. And there you go. The bottom of the box is made in exactly the same way, folded in exactly the same way, and you'll find that when you folded it, it fits perfectly. And that's it. Folded Christmas box.